Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. This is Dylan with Tucson Future Classics, and that is our 2011 Nissan Leaf. All right, gonna take you all for a quick walk and talk around this 2011 Leaf. This being the very first generation of the very first mass market EV in the United States. It's a cool and quirky little thing. Give you about 110 horsepower. Real world, you're going to get about 40 miles of range down here in the desert using the HVAC for everything. It's got 41,500 miles, and they're just kind of funky looking little commuting appliances. They're cool little eggs. Inside's got the light colored interior, the white exterior, so it'll keep it as cool as possible, which is quite nice. And yeah, for under 42,000 miles, pretty clean, pretty well spec'd, pretty well taken care of. I'll dive in and show you everything, show you up under the hood, charging ports, trunk, interior, and we'll take her for a quick spin. All right, up here in the nose, you got your two charging plugs, the fast charge CHAdeMO, CHAdeMO plug for direct current rapid charging. And then this is the standard J1772 plug. This is like what you'd use for lower speed level 2 chargers, at home charging, and regular wall plug slow charging. So this is probably what you'll be using to charge her at home. Shut that nose and moving on up. You've got what looks like an engine, but very much is not. This is your motor drive unit and inverter. Pretty simple up here. Not much to even really worry yourself with, but coolant for the drive motor, brake fluid, washer fluid, coolant for your inverter there, coolant for your heating and cooling system there, and the 12-volt battery that runs all the accessory systems that the drive motors do not otherwise run. Very simple and super maintenance friendly, because there really isn't much you as the owner need to touch. Right, now that we're in the driver's seat, I'll give you a quick rundown of everything. Start it up. Got the animation and the silly noise because first generation EV, they wanted to have a little bit of fun and a little whimsy with it. Up top, speedometer, temperature, and clock. To the left-hand side of it here is your eco meter showing how electron conserving your driving style is. The fuller it is, the better you're doing. The less it is, well, you're using a bit more electricity. Down below in the main gauge, up here is your power gauge. All the way to the right is full power consumption when you're floored. As you fall back to the left, this shows regenerative braking. This is the secret to extending your range, making the most of regen, because it uses electricity to slow you down. You charge the car as you slow down, basically. Over here is your battery temperature gauge. This is an air-cooled battery, so being able to monitor that is nice. They manage it pretty well. Even our 110 to 120 degree desert days, don't max it out or put it in a danger threshold, but it's always nice to keep track of everything. Over here, you've got your range, you've got your battery state of health. So the range will change depending on a bunch of things. Like I just turned the AC on, you saw it fall. If I go back into drive and I go into eco, the range will jump because that is a more power conserving and more regenerative braking heavy drive mode. One other thing interesting, you'll see those three little dots. Those are your charge indicators. They will illuminate and flash as your state of charge increases while you're plugged in. Power windows, power door locks, power mirrors. Down below are the controls to open your electricity door and your hood. Stealth mode here, that'll turn off an outside sound so you can sneak up on people. Headlight adjuster, adjust them up and down for city or highway driving. You have got traction control here, your charge timer, which allows you to set a timer so you charge when the electricity is cheapest, off peak. You can turn that on and off with this. Up here, this little 4 square allows you to go through all of your center gauge systems, showing like charging time, average speed, all of your different settings for the vehicle. Radio controls, navigation, answer or hang up a phone call. This is your source. It allows you to change radio sources or tracks up and down. You've got your volume here. That is voice control for your phone and to go back a page. Over here, cruise control, just simple fare, on, set it, resume, cancel. On to the infotainment system. This was kind of a not kind of, this was a technology demonstrator for Nissan. Being their first EV, they wanted to be very forward-facing, techie. So they loaded this up. You got your CD changer back here, and that slot is for updating the maps. Full touchscreen infotainment system, AM, FM, Bluetooth, XM, auxiliary, all of it. Unfortunately, its refresh rate does not like my phone, so you get that flicker. I'll kill that. But to give you an idea, it is a touchscreen. You got all the good stuff. Down below, for HVAC, kick it on. With EVs, just pick a temperature you like, leave it on auto, and let it do the rest. It'll use as little electricity as possible to get down to and maintain the temperature you want, up to and including changing its fan speed automatically and going from outside air to recirculate. It's pretty smart. Down here, little phone cubby, 12-volt charger, auxiliary on this side. You've got your USB over here, 2 cup holders, and now your drive selector. Break down, or break in, down and back for drive. Do it again for eco, and then you see the range jumps. Up and forward puts you into your reverse with a backup camera, and the lines actually track your path, which is really nice and pretty uncommon on these early backup camera systems. Other than that, electronic parking brake here, pretty sizable center console, decent sized glove box with all the books and goodies in there, door pockets on both sides with cup storage there and there. Up top, nothing to really note. Automatic rear view mirror, so it'll automatically dim, sunglass storage, and then boom. Got your mirrors on both sides. Neither of them have lights to conserve electrons, but you do get your map lights. But with that, let's get in the back. As always, for hatchbacks, the backseat big dude test. This is with the seat all the way back and reclined so I could video record. But these first-gen Leafs have what's called stadium seating. The back seats are higher than the fronts because of the battery pack underneath. Gives people in the back a little bit more room. And honestly, 6'1", 260 pounds, I could be back here for a little bit. It's not bad. I pop the hatch. Just want to show you this. This is a photovoltaic cell, a solar panel. It's designed to keep the 12-volt battery topped up for running all the accessories in the car, so it doesn't drain down or piggyback off of the drive battery, which is kind of cool. But here in the back, a very, very deep cargo area. I mean, it is deeper than most because it's an EV. It has a flat floor all the way across the bottom, no gas tank, no exhaust or anything to take up space. These back seats, pull the pin, they do fold all the way down and fold flat to the level of that crossbar there, so you can fit some pretty big stuff. Other than that, got your little cargo cover, keep the back a little bit cooler and keep your stuff a little bit more hidden. Down here, this is the Nissan factory charger. Plug it in to your 110 on your regular wall, plug it into the front of the car, and just like a phone, get home after work, plug it in, it'll be fully charged and ready to go the next day. These recharge about 4 miles per hour, so 40-mile range, 10 hours of charging, boom, full battery every morning. The only other thing that's of note in here is this little pocket. You've got your little factory tool set there, you've got your fix-a-flat goo, and hidden back in there that I can't quite reach while holding a phone is the tow hook, just in case. All right, just pulled out of our gate, shooting handheld again, but wanted to show you all just how quiet and kind of unremarkable in the best possible way these things are. There's no engine noise. You hear a little whine from the electric motor, but it's just road noise. They're very quiet, very easy to drive, and great commuting appliances. I said in a review of a newer Leaf that, you know, I'm a car guy. I love loud, noisy vehicles, gas and diesel powered things, but for commuting as a transportation appliance, these things are just better. They're unbeatable. And you don't really have to worry about maintenance. There's no oil changes to do, any of that kind of annoying stuff. But I'm just going to take you for a quick blast down here. We'll turn around at the little roundabout at the end here, give you a quick scoot up to 40 miles an hour and then back to zero immediately, 0 to 40 to 0. Show you the acceleration and the full ABS braking on this thing. And, you know, good way to demonstrate that there are no, there's nothing hiding in the suspension. Because you really can't hide faults like that under hard acceleration or hard braking. But other than that, if you need to stab it and accelerate quickly to get in and out of traffic or dart into small gaps, they are really, really good for that. So you know what? Ain't nobody around. Come to a quick stop. I'll knock it out of eco mode. Turn off the traction control. And I bet you it'll boil a tire as it takes off. And 40. Full ABS to a very, very strong stop. It stops straight, stops true, and I've said it with other EVs. They stop better than most gas cars because they use the regenerative braking and the anti-lock brakes to slow you down. They're just good. This being a first gen does not have true one pedal driving, but if you're an eco, it will creep less and it'll use the regenerative braking more. The other cool thing is if you drive it in a more eco-conscious way, you will very slowly grow a little tree in your eco meter gauge to show that, you know, you're being kind to the environment and using as little energy as possible. But now that I'm back in eco mode, let's show you how if I take my foot off the brake, you hear it whine a little bit as it starts to slow down. And I'll accelerate some and show you on the power gauge here as we get back to the yard. But this is accelerating, and if I go to brake, it starts to use more and more regen as I slow down before it uses the actual physical brake pads. But yeah, they're good. They're quiet. AC works very, very good in this little thing. Yeah, they're just great appliances. I don't really have terribly much else to say because it would be either redundant or lauding with praise. So, we're back here at the yard. I'll hop out and wrap it all up. All right, one last walk around of our little friend-shaped appliance here. Wanted to give you another look at this little commuter and remind you all that we are Tucson Future Classics. You can find us online at TucsonFutureClassics.com. We are an appointment-only dealership, so please feel free to shoot us a text message, give us a phone call, send us an email. We're on Facebook and Instagram at Tucson Future Classics, so send us a Facebook message or slide into our DMs. However you want to get in touch with us, we'll be here ready to show this car off to you. Hopefully, I've been able to tell you everything you could ever want or need to know about one of these little things to make an informed decision on whether an EV is the right commuter for you, especially a good, cheap little city runabout like this. So, as always, I've been Dylan. We'll see you soon.